points, and just wanted to highlight a couple about, by being able to contribute through volunteer service, you can be developing new skills and experience new things that you may never have thought of, or even that you wanted to do, and you might learn about things that you find, hey, this is interesting. Something like fundraising, and if you can do it with a team, something that maybe some people don't feel comfortable with, but if you know that you can do it with a group of your friends, you're developing a good social network. In fact, we've been down, my husband Mike and I have been down to the Dignity warehouse, and we walked in, and there was like a big party there. Everybody was having a great time, because they're all hanging out together, and they're folding clothes, and while when your mother asks you to fold clothes, it's not that exciting, right? But go to Dignity Wear, and meanwhile it's a party. So you build your social network, camaraderie, you have fun with your friends, you develop new skills, all great stuff. And with that said, we want to invite up our third partner from Multiple Sclerosis Society of Northeast Florida, and that's Artist Grant. She's going to tell you about some opportunities that you have to contribute to the MS Society. So welcome, Artist.
Which is really different from MD, okay? Multiple sclerosis has to do with your central nervous system. Your central nervous system has to do with your brain, your spinal cord, and your optic nerves. That can affect everything in your body. It's very hard to diagnose. It can be like you have tremors or shakes or something like that. You don't think anything about it. Maybe that jar or whatever you were doing was just hard to turn. You don't think about it. You just, any other day you can just turn it and it's done. You might be trying to think of a word. You know what you want to say, but you can't get it out. MS people go through this all the time. Walking can be a very difficult thing for them to do. As they told us when we first started, walking for an MS person might mean you're kind of staggered. Most people consider you've had too many drinks, and you trip a lot. You don't think about it. You as young people, your mom will say, "Oh, you're always walking into things. Can't you stand up straight?" Young people, young adults, usually have this disease. It comes in different, varying ways, like I just explained to you. It's not something that's easily diagnosed. You might have this problem, and you might have a pain in your side or something like that, and it just persists, and you're like, ooh, I gotta do something about this. I'm gonna ask somebody, I'm gonna go to the doctor, because we're talking about young adults. I'm gonna go to the doctor and find out why I always have this pain. They might not be able to figure out why you have it, but you're having it. And a pain, you can't see a pain. You can feel it, but you can't tell if I'm in pain. You can't tell if I didn't just trip on that stone or something, because you're walking on a cobbled street. But it's something that's happening to you, and you're thinking, something's wrong. You can tell when your body isn't quite working well. That's what MS is about. Okay, muscular dystrophy has to do with your muscles. Okay, a lot of people get that confused. I know I've seen people, you hear a person that has MS, and right away they think you're one of Jerry's kids. MS are not one of Jerry's kids. Okay, MS was diagnosed, or is diagnosed by, kind of scary, taking fluid from your spinal column. They usually have contained, they call it a lumbar puncture. And it's a long needle, they take it in there, they draw out the fluid there, and then they analyze that fluid. That's the only way you can tell if you have MS. They give you a lot of, I don't know if anybody's ever had any, you adults, nervous system problems, and they put flashing lights in front of you in a dark room and see if your eyes or your mind has any reaction to it. What we need is a cure. It's one of those things like diabetes and a lot of other diseases that do not have a cure. That's what we at MS work on. We want to find that cure. We have even MS people come in and volunteer. And you might notice that they have trimmers and they shave. But you can talk to them about it because they want to share. They want to share with you what is going on with them. We have children now that are diagnosed with MS. We never had that before. And it's very, as I said, difficult to diagnose. Well, you don't want to be pulling any fluid out of a young kid because they're just too young to do that. So they have to use other tests to find out that children have it. Now, as I said before, I was going to say, this was diagnosed in, the 1800s. Of course, we didn't have the fluid, but we had there was a nun, and she was always falling down and having a difficult time thinking. They believed her, okay, because she's not going to, invent something. There's some people you believe, some people you don't believe. And one of the ways they tried to cure it was to put you in a hot tub of water, and that would prove that you had MS. Or they would try to make you stand up on one leg, which is difficult for anybody. But that was one of the ways they tried to understand that you had MS. Like I said about the tremors and everything, a lot of times they thought you were possessed because you had this in the earlier times. As time went on, we get to the theory that it was all in your mind because your optic nerves were being affected. And then they got to the point where it was your spinal column. We need volunteers, as I said before, to help us try to work to find a cure for this disease. We have 5 therapies now that try to help the people overcome this disease, but it hasn't cured it, and we need that cure. We have a 2010 research group, and they were trying to find, hopefully, that they would have the MS people cured by that time. We're not going to be cured by that time. Okay, so it's going to take a long time. This is what you would be doing. You would be helping the MS people try to find a cure. We at the MS Society do this on a regular basis. We have paid employees, and we also have volunteers. Our volunteers are fun people. You love talking to them. They can be older people. They can be younger people. We have what we call the pamphlets that I handed out to you, these ladies handed out to you, for the MS Walk, which is going on today. So it's too late for you to volunteer for that. But it's just a walk. It's not a race. It's just a walk, and we'll get to talk to people and meet people. Could be your future employer, that you're walking and talking with, because we have different levels and standards of people. We also have the most fun thing that we recently have is our mud run. Our mud run is, just like it says, it's an obstacle course where you get to run through mud. We employ some people that set up this obstacle course, and it's in the woods, and you just jump around, run around, go through all those things. Now, if you don't want to do that, we also have people that stand by in case anybody has any trouble or anything. You get to see them fall in the mud. If they get hurt or anything, then you get to run and get them help. That's one thing that young people love to do. We also have our bike ride. Our bike ride is just what I said. It's a ride. It's not a race. We start in St. Augustine and we go to Daytona. You don't have to go the whole way, but you can be one of the people that stands, there cheering them on, giving them water, giving them food to eat. They have oranges and things like that to keep them going. Same thing with the walk. You're going to have these little positions that people, you give them food and you give them drink. We also have the mud run, buy a ticket or you have a table. I think it's $25. And you just have lunch at the Garden Club next to the museum on Riverside. And you just sit down with a whole bunch of ladies, have lunch, and then they usually have a speaker. I think the last speaker we had was a gentleman who was on American Idol. I don't remember his name. But they have people like that, usually famous people that have something to do with MS, come and speak to us. His mother had MS, so he was allowed to come and share with us all the things that he had to go through when his mother was having MS, which we do have a lot of young people whose parents have MS. For them, we have kids camp, and of course, then we need camp counselors. That's where you would come in. The kids camp is really wonderful. They get to do a lot of crafts, running, jumping, like kids do. I think that's all we have.
Sounds like a lot of stuff, Mark.
It is a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff. It all starts like in October, and then it just goes through the year.
You have information that they can access
I
your
have
website.
information, some of it I gave to you and some more. Yes.
Great.
They would contact Jason.
Okay.
Jason is trying to help.
Well, thank you. Very informative. Very informative. Very important aspect of our society, helping those who, we talked about homeless and also those who are ill. Okay, so we're going to get started. Is everybody ready to rock and roll into their leadership programs? Okay, let me just say one thing. Now, 63 million Americans volunteered in 2009, and so I invite you to join that community, to ignite your passion and inspire others by really making a difference, by contributing your time and your resources in any way that you can. And you have 3 great organizations to which you can provide your services, and if there's others that are meaningful to you, let us know and we'll coordinate with you so you can get your credit for those as well. So without further ado, let's break out into our sessions. Has everybody here, all the students in the room, been registered and have a name tag with a colored star on it? Yes, cool. All right, so quick reminder. All right, red stars, you are staying in here with Lieutenant Commander Emeka Afobike. Emeka just returned from, Josh, it feels like Josh, but no, in October, Emeka returned from Afghanistan. He's going to be talking to you about, am I good enough? How doubt plays a crucial role in leadership. So red stars, that's your first presentation. You're going to stay in this room. And purple stars, you're going to join Dr. Judy Smith, the President and CEO of Hands-On Jacksonville. Judy's group, you're going to go out the door, go all the way down the hall, make a left, go all the way down that hall, and Judy's room will be right there on the left-hand side. And green stars, you're going to go out this door and make a left and go right to your first classroom and join Liz Mann, the CFO of Allstate. And I didn't tell you Judy's title. Her title is Tomorrow's Leaders. You have what it will take. And Liz's program is Identifying Body Language in the Scope of the Workforce. Now, after you finish the programs, okay, you're going to shift to the next program. All right, so basically, red group, you're then going to go down to the far end and join Judy's group. Judy's group, you're going to migrate to the green group. So if you can imagine, we're just going to make a circle, okay? Does that make sense? So red group, you're staying here now. Then you're going to go to the far end. You're going to go to Judy's group. After Judy's group, you're going to go to the middle classroom here. By the end, we're all going to meet up here. Have a very quick parting words. If you need to leave early, please see either Bill or myself so we can sort of check you out and just give you what we need to do in order for you to move on. All right? So is that clear? Judy, do you have a question?
Are you going to give us the high sign to end the session?
We can do that, yes. So it is a 20, what is the timing on that?
25 minutes.
25 minutes, so at around like 20 minutes, one of us, Bill, myself, or one of the volunteers will, kind of be in the back room and just give you a 5-minute high five. Is that reasonable, speakers? Yeah, 5-minute high five? Okay, cool. All right, is everybody clear? Parents, sorry, I know that not to put all the attention on the students. You guys are welcome.